morning. Good to see everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all doing well on this beautiful, bright morning. Hopefully it's bright and beautiful where you are as well. For those of you who are new to our class today, my name is Shelly and I'm a physiotherapist here at the Society. And I will be leading your seated exercise series this month. So today is class number 2. Now, this seated series is recorded and it will be uploaded to our Parkinson's Society BC YouTube channel after the series is done. So if you are someone who is joining halfway, or you're missing some classes, or you would just like to revisit some of the exercises we're doing, you're welcome to have a look on our Parkinson's Society YouTube channel after the series is done, and you can always redo the classes as well. Do bear in mind that we also have new exercise classes coming up in August and September and beyond. So please do check our website for further listings if you're enjoying our exercise classes. So our seated exercise series, as the name implies, we will be in a fully seated position for the entire class. So there'll be no standing. Now, you don't need any equipment, you just need a chair to sit in. So I do have a chair set up here behind me. And ideally, the chair that you're in should be pretty sturdy so it doesn't tip over as you're exercising. And if you can have a chair without armrests, that would be ideal, because as we're moving our arms and legs, I just don't want you to have to worry about hitting your arms and legs on the chair. But of course, if you only have a chair with armrests, that's okay too. Just be a little mindful as we're moving today to not injure yourself. So our seated exercise series, it's our level 2 class, which means that it's a moderate paced class. Even though we're fully seated, we are moving throughout the entire hour with very small bits of breaks between. So it is going to be a little bit of a cardio class as well, even though we're fully seated. And the way the class will run is we're going to start with a warm-up together, and then the main chunk of the class will be our exercise circuit, which will be 5 exercises we're doing for 2 minutes each, and we're going to repeat the entire circuit 2 times through. And then at the end, we'll have a bit of a cool down, and that's it. So just do your best to follow along. If anything is feeling too quick for you, don't worry. You're always welcome to slow it down. Or if you need a rest break at any point, please do feel free to take a break. You don't have to do everything at the same pace I'm doing it at, but as long as we're trying to move throughout the entire class as much as possible. So we're working on our endurance. That's sort of the main thing. Okay, so I'm going to sit back, just making sure there's nobody stuck here in the waiting room. Nope, we're all in. Okay, perfect. So every now and then I might come up to the screen just to let some people in from the waiting room if there's any late joiners. So if that happens, please just keep moving and exercising with whatever movements we're doing at that time, even while I'm moving forward towards the screen. And of course, you're all muted as well. But you're more than welcome to unmute yourself at any point if you do want to ask any questions or say anything. Okay, all right, let me turn up my brightness here. I'm going to move back to the chair. All right, so even though we're sitting in our chair for our exercise class, I'm going to turn sideways for just a moment. We want to make sure that we're always sitting at the very fronts of our chairs, and we're sitting nice and tall and upright on our sitting bones so that we're ready to move. Because if we're sitting back here in our chair and we're slouched in the chair, it's actually very difficult to move our limbs because our weight is so far back. So we want to make sure that at all times during the class, we're sitting upright and we're shuffling to the very fronts of our chair. Our feet are on the floor, so we're in this nice ready position to be able to move our arms and legs in multiple directions, okay? So always assume that even though we're doing seated exercises, we're always sitting upright at the fronts of our chairs, unless I specifically mentioned about slouching. We will do that for one exercise, just for more of a stretch purpose. All right, so we're sitting upright, nice and tall, and we're gonna start with marching on the spot here. We're swinging our arms, marching on the spot. And as we're doing this, we wanna really focus on our posture here. Ideally, we're not down here marching. We wanna be upright, opening up the chest, nice long necks. Imagine you're balancing a book on the head, and we're just marching on the spot to start. Now keep going. If I turn sideways for a second, you can see that my arms are going back behind me as much as they're going forward, right? So I'm not just doing this, but I'm swinging them back behind me as well, so that I'm kind of doing a bit of a rotation in the body as well. So it's really important that when we are doing this marching with swinging arms, we're getting the arms back behind us as much as they're going forward, okay? Keep going. Stomping the floor, big swings of the arms, just getting our bodies used to moving. Remember, if anything feels too fast, please do feel free to slow it down. That's okay. Okay, we're now going to do some heel digs forward, which look like this. We're tapping our heels forward like so. We're straightening our knees and tapping our heels forward. And as we're doing this, we're going to reach the opposite arm to leg. Noticing my back arm is also reaching, but I'm reaching the opposite arm to leg as I'm doing this movement. So from the side, I'm reaching both arms. Can you see that? Both arms and legs are reaching. And I'm doing opposite arm to leg as I'm doing this. Really spread those fingers open, nice and wide, splay the fingers, almost like you're flicking paint off of your hands. You're really spreading those fingers nice and open. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall as you're doing this, opposite arm to leg. Don't want to see anybody's arms do this. You want nice long arms, no T-Rex arms. Keep going, splaying those fingers nice and wide. Good. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. We're not starting to do this. We're nice and open through the chest, nice long necks. Really flicking those fingers open. Nice big movement. Fill up as much space as you're able to here. Or that your room allows you to. Be careful not to hit your arms on anything. Keep going. I'm just letting somebody in from the waiting room. Nicely done. Okay, we're now going to switch gears a little bit. We're now going to tap our feet out to the side like this. So this is what our feet are doing. We're tapping them out to the side and bringing it back in. And we're trying to reach that foot as far away as we can from us. And while we're doing that, we're going to take the same arm and leg and we're going to reach in the opposite direction like this. So I'm reaching up and overhead, noticing that my hands and fingers are still splayed. Can you see that? They're nice and wide. I'm not closing my fist, but I'm reaching nice and wide, kind of tipping side to side in my chair here. So this is why I was saying that it'd be good if the chair is very sturdy so we don't accidentally topple over when we're doing this. But we are shifting our weight from butt cheek to butt cheek, and we're reaching the arms as far as you can. So ideally not like this across the face. We want up and over. So see how my body here is going kind of side to side on a bit of an angle. That's what you're aiming for. Really stretching out the torso as you're tapping your foot out to the side. Nicely done. Keep going. Shifting weight from side to side. Nicely done. Keep going. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch. We're going to take our hand. We're going to grab hold of the opposite knee like so. The other hand is going to wrap around the back of the chair Sitting up tall, we're going to pull ourselves around into a rotational stretch such that we're looking at the back wall. So your spine is kind of like a corkscrew and you're rotating on the spot here. We're almost growing taller in this rotation, holding it here, breathing. Nicely done. And release. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Take your hand, grab hold of the opposite knee. Other hand going to wrap around the back of the chair, sitting up nice and tall like a corkscrew. We're rotating around such that we're looking at the back wall. You're trying to keep your knees and feet still where they are. We don't want the legs to kind of come with us, because if we're like this, it sort of defeats the purpose of the rotation. So you're using your hands to kind of block your legs from moving in a way, and you're just twisting your spine on the spot here. Nicely done, everybody. And release. Let's do one more on each side. Take your hand, grab hold of the opposite knee. Other hand's going to wrap around the back of the chair, sitting tall, rotating on the spot like a corkscrew. And release. Last time, other side, take your hand, grab hold of the opposite knee. Other hand's wrapping around the back of the chair, sitting tall and twisting on the spot, rotating to look at the back wall. Nicely done. And let's release. I'm going to turn sideways for a second so you can see me. So this is one of the only times we're ever slouching in this class. We're going to shuffle our bottom back into the chair, and we're going to lean into the backrest of the chair. So you can see my backrest is here. I'm leaning right against it, okay? We're going to do an upper back stretch. So we're going to take our hands, place it behind our head like so. Make sure your elbows are not forward. We want to open the elbows out to the sides. You're opening the chest. We're going to slouch a little bit in the chair, and then we're going to stretch up and over the back of the chair. So you're kind of using the backrest of the chair as a block in a way to then get your upper body or your upper shoulders over it. And you should feel a stretch in the back, but also across the chest. Just be mindful not to tip over in the chair. Please do be careful. Or if you have any back injuries, please be careful with this one. And then let's release. Let's drop the arms for a second. And then we're going to bring the arms back up again behind the head. Make sure the elbows are wide open to the side. And then we're going to lean up and over the chair. Remember, we're slouching in the chair for this one. In fact, if we don't slouch in the chair for this one, you probably won't feel it as much. Nicely done, opening up the chest, looking at the ceiling if you can. And release, using our tummy muscles. We're going to sit up nice and tall and then shuffle ourselves to the front of the chair again. This time, we're going to move on to our legs for a bit of a stretch. So still sitting at the very front of our chair, we're going to slide one foot forward such that your knee is completely straight. We're going to sit nice and tall, nice and long through the spine, and we're going to hinge forward at the hips, not at the spine, at the hip. We're hinging forward, and you're going to reach your arms down that straight leg as far as you feel you're able to, and you should feel a stretch on the back of that thigh. So if I turn sideways for a second, you can see I'm nice and tall. I'm hinging forward with a straight back. So I'm not like this, okay? I'm hinging forward with a straight back, and I'm trying to reach down that leg as far as I can to feel a stretch in the back of the thigh. Make sure you're still breathing as you're stretching. And coming back up, same to the other side, straighten the leg, nice and tall and long through the spine, hinging at the hips, not at the spine, hinging at the hips, trying to keep the back as straight as you can. And then just make sure your hands are kind of sliding down that leg as far as you can. Hopefully you're breathing, not holding your breath. Keep going. I'm just letting somebody in from the waiting room. Nicely done, everybody. And back up. We're going to go for an inner thigh stretch. You've got two options for this. You can do both legs at the same time or one leg at a time. So if you're doing both, you're going to separate those legs nice and wide, wider than your chair. Take your hands, put it on the inside of your knees. You're going to push those knees outwards like so. Still nice and tall through the spine, hinging at the hips again. So long spine and hinging at the hips rather than like this. So from the side, it looks like this, nice and tall, hinging at the hips and pushing those outwards, and you should feel a stretch on the inner thigh. If that's too much for you and you don't want to do both at the same time, you can have one leg out to the side, same thing, hinging forward, and you should feel it on the inner thigh as well. And then just make sure you switch to the other leg if you are doing that version, okay? Whichever works for you, breathing. Remember, you're hinging at the hips, not the spine. Nicely done. And let's release that. We're going to go onto our ankles, nice and tall, hands on your hips. We're going to lift those heels up nice and high, really squeezing our calf muscles. Then we're going to lower the heel and lift the toes up as high as we can. And then same thing again, heels up, toes up. So kind of like we're rocking on our feet a little bit. So from the side, toes up, heels up, toes up. Make sure we're nice and tall. We're not like this. Sitting tall, opening up through the chest. Imagine that book balancing on your head as we're doing this. Nicely done. Come back to face you. Okay, we're going to now take one of our feet up like so. We're going to lift it up slightly, and we're going to draw big circles with the ankle in one direction. Doesn't have to be fast, just big circles. And then we're going to go in the other direction, nice big circles if we can. Really make sure you're drawing a circle and not an oval or a square or a triangle. You want to kind of get all of the ranges equally. And release. Same on the other side. We're going to pick up the foot and then draw a big circle with that ankle in one direction only for now. Just like before, you want to draw a big circle, not a triangle or a square or oval. We want a big circle. And let's go in the other direction. Big circle. Hopefully we're still sitting up nice and tall. We're not starting to do this. And let's lower down. We're going to do some arm circles. I'm going to move forward because otherwise I will hit my wall here. So we're going to do big arm circles back like so. Now, if you've got painful shoulders and you can't quite get your arms up and over, that's okay. Go a little smaller, whatever range works for you. We're going to try to open up the chest here, sitting nice and tall, circling those arms. And then we're going to make the movement smaller and smaller. The circle's going to get smaller and smaller until we're doing very small little pulses with the arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's circle in the other direction. Nice big circles, just like before. If you can't go all the way up, that's okay. Just do what you can. And then we're going to make the circle smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until we're doing those little pulses again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop the arms. Okay. All right. Hopefully you're a little warm. We're going to move on to our circuit portion now. So we got 5 exercises we're doing for 2 minutes each, and we're doing that twice through. So the first exercise we start with the feet tapping out to the side, similar to our warm-up. So we tap the foot out to the side like so, noticing that I'm really getting that big movement. I'm not just going like this, but I want to try to almost straighten my leg. That's how far I want to go. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the same arm as the leg moving And I'm going to sweep it across to the opposite side, noticing that my hand is splayed. I'm not like this. My hand is splayed. And then I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So same arm and leg, but they're moving in opposite directions. So if my leg is going this way, that same arm is going in the opposite direction. So I'm kind of twisting my body a little bit. Imagine it's almost like you're taking a cloth and you're wiping this window, invisible window in front of you. You're kind of doing a big sweep, a horizontal line like so. So there's some twisting in the body, and that's the first movement we're doing. So we're not going up and over, we're going directly in front horizontally. Okay, we're gonna do that for 2 minutes. If you need a break in the 2 minutes, that's fine, take a break, but try to get right back into it if you can. We want the movement to be continuous if possible. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Big sweep. Playing the fingers, opening the hand. Keep going. I'm just going to let someone in from the waiting room. Big sweeps. Tapping that foot out to the side. Remember, we want the movement to be nice and big if possible. If this is too fast for you, please feel free to slow it down. But I do want you to try to make the range of movement nice and big. Keep the arms straight if you can. So we're kind of twisting. We're twisting our torso as we're doing this. Remember, not up and over, but forward directly in front of you. Nicely done. Keep going. Big sweeping motion. You're still reaching the feet outwards as well, trying to straighten that leg. You've got 1 minute left. You're almost there. Big sweeping motions. Make sure your hand is flat. Splay the hand. That's it. Open the fingers. Sweeping across the front. You can let your eyes follow if you like. Let your eyes follow the hand as long as you don't get too busy. But that will help you with that rotation as well. Nicely done. You're almost there. You got 30 seconds left. Keep moving it if you can, even if you have to slow it down. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Hopefully you're still sitting up nice and tall. We're not starting to slouch into the back of the chair. 15 seconds, you're almost there. Nicely done. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. Ooh, hopefully your torso is feeling a little warm after all of that twisting. Okay, that was exercise 1. So exercise 2 is going to be a little bit of a combination, slightly different. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make fists with our hands, and we're going to bring our arms up to the side like this, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to extend one leg forward as we punch the air up in the air like this, down, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but straightening a leg and punching the air on top of us. So if you're not able to get your arms up, that's okay. If it hurts your shoulders, don't go up. Maybe go a little bit more sort of forward in front of you rather than up as high if it's hurting your shoulders. But we're going to aim for 4 of these. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do 4 punches forward with opposite arm and leg like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the legs stay the same. The legs do this the entire time, but the arms go 4 upwards like this, then 4 punches forward, but 1 at a time. Opposite arm to leg as we punch forward. Okay, so again, in the beginning, we go 4 punches upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we punch forward, opposite arm to leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, we punch upwards 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 punches forward, opposite arm to leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to repeat that for the entire 2 minutes. Are we ready? So just follow along. Hopefully you'll get the combination after doing it a few times. Ready? We go in 3, 2, 1, and go. 4 punches up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Punches forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep going. So you're doing 4 punches upwards, 4 forward. Hopefully you're breathing as you're doing this. The legs do the same thing. The legs are just kicking forward. It's your arms that's changing. 4 punches up. 2, 3, 4. 4 punches forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep going. Really try to make the arm movements punches rather than just placing them in a position. Really want to see that effort in the punches. 3, 4. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep going. You got less than 1 minute left. 50 seconds. Nicely done. Hopefully you're still sitting up tall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the legs going. Nicely done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep going. Really think about those punches. Make them punches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 seconds. You're almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Shake out those arms, move those legs around a little bit, have a rest. Nicely done. So that was exercise number 2. We've got 2 exercises left and we're done round 1. Okay. Oh, sorry. You have 3 exercises left because we've done 2 so far and we want 5 in total. Can't count today. Okay. Next exercise we're doing, we're going to do a little bit of a pattern with the legs. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to show you the legs for now. I'm going to go out, out, in, in. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Out, out, in, in. Same thing on the other side. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Okay, that's what we're doing with the legs. Out, out, in the whole time. Now, the arms are going to go like this. Out, out, in. Other side. Out, out, in. So you're kind of like a puppet, if you will. The arms and legs move together on either side. So I go out, out, in. Other side. Out, out, in. And I'm going to repeat that for 1 whole minute. Then the last minute, we're still doing the same pattern, but this time opposite arm to leg to make you think a little more, like this. Out, out, in. Other way. Out, out, in. So it's the same pattern. The only difference is I'm now doing the opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in. Same on the other side. Out, out, in. Okay, so for the first minute, the arms and legs are the same. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Same arm and legs for the first minute. Then the second minute, we do opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in, out, out, in. And you thought this class was going to be easy. A little bit of a brain teaser for you this morning. Okay, let's give it a try. We've got 2 minutes. Feel free to do this slow if it's feeling a little confusing. I'm going to do it slower as well so you can see the pattern in case you're lost. But if you have this pattern down, please feel free to do it faster if you like, okay? If you want to give yourself a challenge, feel free to do it faster, but I'm going to stick to the slower version. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Same arm and leg. Out, out, in, other side. Out, out, in. Good. Keep going. So remember, the first minute, we're doing same arm and leg. It's almost like you're a puppet and one side of the body moves together. Good. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Keep going. Nice and tall, hopefully. We're not slouching in the chair. We're nice and tall, opening the palms. I know, lots to think about. Out, out, in, out, out, in. In 5 seconds, we're gonna do the opposite arm to leg. So ready? Last minute, opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in, opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in. So I'm gonna do this bit slower so you can follow along, but if you have the pattern, please feel free to do it faster, okay? Out, out, in, opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Keep going. 20 seconds left. Nice job, everybody. I know this is a little confusing. Keep going. Waking up that brain, getting the coordination in. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Opposite arm to leg. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Shake out those arms. Well done. Okay, you'll be happy to know our next 2 exercises, less coordination heavy. Okay, the next one we're doing is going to be a windmill. So you might remember this from some of my previous classes. We have 2 options of doing this. Number 1, your legs can stay still the entire time in this wide stance position. Option number 2, your legs can move with you, okay? I'll leave that up to you which version you want to do, but I'll show you what the movement is. So option 1, legs nice and wide, we're doing a windmill. So we're going to start with the arms down by 1 ankle, like so, nice and straight. So imagine your arms are like the blades of a windmill. So they're not going to be loosey-goosey. We want them to be nice and strong, nice and stiff. Okay, they start on one side. And we're going to go up and over to the other side like a windmill. Up and over. And as we're doing this, you'll notice that my body is moving with my arms, right? So what I'm not doing is I'm not going like this. Can you see that this is very different? I'm not just moving the arms and keeping the body still. I want my body to move with the arms. Big windmill from side to side. Now, this is option 1, keeping your feet where they are. Or if you want a little bit more of a slight balance challenge in your chair, you can actually get the legs moving with the arms. So the legs and arms start on one side, and they both go together up and over to the other side. Up and over to the other side. Okay, so this is option 2. If you want a slightly more of a challenge, you're welcome to move those legs with the arms, or you can keep the legs where they are for option 1. It's entirely up to you, whichever version you want to do. The most important thing is I don't want to see anybody keep their torsos like this, right? We want the torso to move with your body, regardless of what version you're doing. Okay, should we try this? So we got 2 minutes. Ready? I'll start with option 1 and then I'll switch to option 2, just in case you get a little confused. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Up and over.
Remember, your arms are like the blades on the windmill. No loosey-goosey arms. We want the arms to be straight, not like this. Long, straight arms. Your body is going with the arms. Up and over. Up and over. Nicely done. Version 2, same thing with the legs moving if you want. Or you can stick with option 1. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do option 2 for a little bit and then switch back to option 1 just in case anybody forgets what each version is. Keep going up and over. So remember, the main thing here is we want the entire body moving. I don't want to see anybody's body stay still like this. We want the body to move with the arms. Nicely done. 1 minute left. You're almost there. So regardless of what version you're doing, you want the body to move with the arms up and over, up and over. Nicely done. Good. Keep going. Up and over, as big as you can, almost like you're trying to fill up as much space as you can in your room. Up and over, nicely done. Keep going. You've got 30 seconds. I'm going to go back to option 1 for a moment so you can see. Up and over. Let the torso go with you. Up and over. Torso moving with you. Nicely done. You've got 15 seconds left. You're almost there. Keep going. Up and over. Let the torso come with you. Up and over. Big stretches. Nicely done. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo. Hopefully your torso is feeling nice and warm, nice and agile. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways for you so you can see me for the very last exercise. So this is exercise number 5 now. This is our last exercise, and then we're doing the same 5 exercises one more time for round 2, and then you're done. So you're almost there. You can see the finish line. Okay, our last one here, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what my torso is doing. So for those who were here last week, you'll probably remember we practiced some sit-to-stand last time, yes? And the main thing we were practicing with the sit-to-stand is not to be using momentum to stand up or to pull up on something and try to get our bottoms forward. For the whole point, we were practicing that sit-to-stand was to get our bodies used to being able to shift our weight forward over our feet to then stand up. So we're not doing a sit-to-stand today, but we're doing something similar in the sense of weight shifting. So here's what it's going to look like. Here's my body. Okay, I'm gonna ignore my arms for a second. I'll add in the arms later, but here's what my body's doing. I'm going to weight shift forward such that my bottom hovers off the seat just a little bit. But see how I'm putting my weight forward over my base of support? My center of gravity is over my base of support, in this case, my feet. Then I'm going to sit back down and lean back slightly. Not into the chair. I'm not leaning into the chair, but I'm just leaning back to the very backs of my sitting bones. And then I'm coming forward off my sitting bones and then lean to the back edges of my sitting bones without actually leaning into the chair. Okay, that's what my body's doing. I'm going forward and back, forward and back. And I'm using this with control. So I'm not just going and I'm swinging myself forward and back, but I'm doing this with control. Okay, now the arms, I want you to imagine you're now camping and there's lots of mosquitoes around you. And you really want to get rid of those pesky mosquitoes. So as we lean forward, we're going to clap those arms forward like you're trying to get a mosquito, like this. Then we're going to sit back, lean back, and you're going to try to clap your arms behind you if you can, or if you can't, because the chair's too wide, go right behind your back like so. Okay, so it looks like this. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Now, the main point here, the clapping is not necessarily the main point, because the reason we're adding the clapping is to kind of facilitate that forward and backwards rocking motion more. But the main point of the exercise is for you to be able to shift your weight from this forward position to this backward position without than falling back into the chair or falling forwards off the chair. We want to really control this movement. So we're going to forward, back, forward, back. And if you can, you're hovering your bottom off the seat. If you can't, that's fine too. But you're going to try your best to hover your bottom off the seat to bring your center of gravity forward over your feet. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to move a little bit because I'm hitting my wall here. So we're going to do this for 2 minutes, and please feel free to take your time, okay? It's not about doing this as fast as we can because we want to control the movement. So please do slow it down if you need, okay? But trying your best to hover your bottom if you can. Okay, 2 minutes. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Forward, back, forward, back. Try to keep those knees apart when you're hinging forward if you can. Remember to keep clapping those arms. It's almost like you're trying to get those pesky mosquitoes. You're in your camping chair enjoying a good time, and those mosquitoes are getting you. Forward, back, forward, back. Nicely done. I always come up with these silly analogies. I'm sure you're probably all laughing at how silly it is, but keep going. The idea that counts. Good. Remember your weight shifting forward and back. It doesn't have to be the same speed I'm doing, but I want you to go at a pace that works for you while you're controlling the movement, okay? You're controlling this weight shift that you're doing. 1 minute left. You're almost there. Keep breathing. Hopefully nobody's holding their breath. Using this weight shift to get your center of gravity over your base of support. Going forward, back. Remember, no crashing into the chair, no crash landings. This should be nice and quiet other than the clapping of those hands. Nicely done. You got 30 seconds. You're almost there. This exercise was much longer than the other ones for some reason. Probably because it's a little more challenging, but keep going. 20 seconds. You're almost there. Keep moving if you can. Weight shift. That's it. 15 seconds. You are almost there. Nicely done. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs. Nicely done, everybody. How are we doing? Well, no one's dropping out yet, so that's good. Okay, so you've done all 5 exercises in round 1. So we're going to do that again, all 5 exercises one more time for our final round, and then you're done. So you really only have a little bit of hard work left. 2 minutes each exercise, that's all. You can do this. Okay, so the first exercise, oops, let me move back a little bit. The first exercise was this, same arm and leg, sweeping across the front. Do you remember this one? The foot is tapping out to the side while the same arm is sweeping across the front. And I'm not doing this with the arms, but I'm using my torso to kind of twist to either side. That's our first exercise, okay? So last 2 minutes of this exercise, we're gonna move on, okay? Are you ready? You can do this. Last 5 exercises and you're done. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Tapping to the side, twisting that torso. Nicely done. Big sweeps across. Really extend that leg away from your middle. Nicely done. Keep going. Remember, not up and over. We're not going up and over. We're going forward in front of you. Almost like there's a big window, big glass window in front of you, and you're kind of drawing a horizontal line. Nicely done. Keep going. Keep breathing. Really extend that leg away from you. Extend the arm away from you. You're doing a rotational movement here. Nicely done. 1 minute left. Keep breathing. Just keep moving if you can. Remember, it does not have to be the same pace I'm doing. You're more than welcome to do a little slower if this is too fast, but I do want you to try and splay the fingers and really get a big, large, sweeping motion. We want to try to exaggerate the movements if we can. 30 seconds, you're almost there. Good, keep going. Try to keep your arms straight as you sweep across, so it's a longer lever type of movement. 20 seconds. Good, keep it going. Nicely done, everybody. You're almost there. 15 seconds. Really splay that hand, opening the fingers. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo, nicely done. Okay, the next one was our little punching combination. We did 4 punches upwards like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do opposite arm to leg, punching 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you remember that one? So 4 upwards, 4 going forward. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep it going. You're doing 4 punches upward, 4 punches forward. Good. Hopefully you're nice and tall as you're doing this movement and we're not down here. You want to sit nice and tall, really opening up your chest. Good. Nicely done. Keep breathing as you're doing this. No T-Rex arms. Hopefully your arms are extended fully. We don't want to see anybody doing this. We want nice, long arms. Really think about punching the air. 4 forward, 4 in front. Good. 1 minute left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Remember, if this is too fast, please do feel free to slow it down. 30 seconds. You're almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 seconds. Almost there. Keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Shake out those arms. Shake out those legs. Good. Okay, you've got 3 exercises left, and then you're done. You're almost there. Okay. Next exercise was our coordination one, the one that we did for our brains. So we're going out, out, in, in. Remember that one? Same arm and leg. Out, out, in, in. Okay, so we do out, out, in for 1 whole minute. Then the second minute, we do opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in. Okay, we remember that one, right? Yes, we all hate this one. I know, me included. Okay, we're gonna try this. 2 minutes. So the first minute, same arm and leg. Second minute, opposite arm and leg. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Same arm and leg. Out, out, in. Other side. Out, out, in. So remember with this one, if you have the pattern down, you're more than welcome to do it faster. But I'm going to stick at this pace just in case anybody is feeling a little lost. But you're also more than welcome to slow it down if you need to, okay? Keep going. Same arm and leg. Out, out, in, out, out, in, in. You've got 20 seconds left until we do the opposite arm to leg version. You're almost there. Good, keep going. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. We're now gonna do opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Good, keep going. Let me slow it down a little more so I can see some confused faces. Out, out, in. Opposite arm to leg moving. Remember, if you have this pattern, you're more than welcome to speed it up. 30 seconds left. Keep thinking about the opposite arm to leg. Out, out, in, out, out, in. 10 seconds. Out, out, in, out, out, in, and rest. Shake out those arms, shake out the legs, shake out the brain. I'm kidding. Maybe don't do that because you'll get dizzy. Okay, 2 exercises left. Next one, we have the windmill exercise. So this is the one where we have 2 options. You can either keep your legs stationary, and we're going up and over with the arms and the chest. Remember, the body's going with you, up and over. Or if you want option 2, the arms and legs move together like this. Up and over, up and over. So whichever version you do is absolutely fine, but we're trying to keep the arms nice and long, okay? So I don't want to see any T-Rex arms like this. We want long arms, almost like your arms are like the blades of the windmill, okay? And your body is going with your arms rather than it being still and it's just your arms moving. We want the entire body moving with the arms. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to stick with option 1, and then afterwards I'll do option 2 so that you can see both options, but it's up to you which one you want to do for the entire 2 minutes. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Up and over. Nice long arms, up and over. Make sure you're taking your body with you. So it's not just the arms going up and over, but your body is also going up and over. Up and over. Nice job. Keep it going. Up and over. Up and over. Going. Big sweeping arms. Good, nice job. You have 1 minute left. I'm gonna do option 2 with the legs moving up and over. Good, so regardless of what version you're doing, I really wanna see you straighten those elbows if you can. I see a couple of people with the elbows bent, so try your best to reach up and over. Really straighten those arms as you're doing this. Straighten those arms, that's it. So you're moving in a big sweeping motion, forces your body to do a little bit more of the up and over movement if your arms are straight. Nicely done. You got 30 seconds. You're almost there. Up and over. Make sure the body's going with you, not just the arms. The body is also doing this up and over movement. 15 seconds. You're almost there. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Well done, everybody. Okay, you have 1 last exercise, and that's it, and you're done. So last 2 minutes of hard work. I'm gonna turn sideways. This is our silly analogy mosquito clapping one. So we're going to sit at the front of our seat. So this is the one where we're shifting our weight forward and backwards on our sitting bones without falling back into the chair or falling forwards onto the floor, right? So this is the one where we went like this and back. forward, and back. You remember that one? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do that for 2 minutes. My clock's disappeared now, so I'm gonna just pull up my timer again. Whoops, what's going on here? Let me see if I can grab it on here. Okay, are we ready? I'm gonna pull up the timer. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Good. So remember, it doesn't have to be this speed per se. You can go a little slower, but the whole point is you want that weight shift to be going forward and back, forward and back. And you're trying to hover your bottom off the seat if you can as you're doing this. That's it. Nicely done. Forward, back, forward, back. You're 45 seconds in. That's it. Nicely done. Forward, back, forward, back. Really shifting that weight. Remember, it doesn't have to be the speed that I'm doing this at, okay? You have 1 minute left. Doesn't have to be my speed. You're welcome to slow it down. For the whole point is you're shifting your pelvis, you're shifting your weight forward and back with control. So this movement should be relatively silent other than your hands clapping. We don't want to hear anyone's bottoms crashing down into the chair or anybody falling forward off their chair. Really try to keep this movement as controlled as you can. Good, nicely done. You got 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Forward, back, forward, back. Really control this movement. Remember, you're not doing a full stand. You're just covering your bottom off the seat. Nicely done. 15 seconds. Good. Oops, I keep hitting my wall here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breath. Shake out those arms. Shake out those legs. Nicely done. We're going to clasp our hands together and we're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Big stretch as far as you can. And we're going to circle the arms all the way down. Take your hand, grab hold of your opposite elbow, and you're going to pull that elbow towards your shoulder. First stretch on the outside of your arm. Make sure the shoulder is down. So I don't want it up by the ear. You want it down. And you should feel that stretch in the outside of the arm here, holding it for a few seconds, breathing. Really, same to the other side. Take your hand, grab hold of the opposite elbow, pull it towards you, shoulder down, so you feel that stretch on the outside of the arm, holding it here. And release. We're going to bring those legs a bit wider apart, hands on your knees. You're pushing the legs out to the side to stretch your inner thigh, and you're hinging forward at the hips, keeping your spine nice and long if you can. So not like this, nice and long through your spine. Pushing those knees out to feel a stretch on the inside of the Good. Coming back up, we're going to do a front thigh stretch. So this one's a little trickier in sitting. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go on a diagonal. The leg that's forward, you're going to slide that leg back such that you get the kneecap to point at the floor as much as you can. You're going to lean back into your chair such that you're really flattening out the front of the thigh, and you should feel a stretch there. You're trying to get the kneecap to point to the floor and stretch back. Nicely done. And back up. Let's do the same on the other side. We're going on the diagonal slightly. We're going to bring the front leg back, point the knee down at the floor. So you can lean back into the chair. You should feel a stretch through the front of the thigh here, trying to flatten that as much as you can. See that. And coming back up, nice and tall with our stretch. We're going to slide 1 foot forward such that the knee is straight. Nice and tall through our spine. We hinge at the hips. Walk those fingers down the leg. You should feel a stretch at the back of that thigh. And the more forward you're sitting in your chair, the easier these stretches are, because otherwise you feel that your hips are a little restricted. Nicely done. And coming back up, same to the other side, straightening that leg, nice and tall through the spine, hinge forward at the hips, walk the arms down that straight leg. And coming back up, last thing, we're going to take a deep breath in. Big sweep of the arms all the way over top. Big stretch, wiggle those fingers. Reach them up as high as you can. And breath out. Drop the arms. Again, breath in. All the way to the top. Wiggle those fingers. Stretch up as far as you can. And breath out. One last one. Up at the ceiling, wiggle those fingers, stretch, 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 and breath out. And you are done. Well done, everybody. Good job on completing another class of the seated exercise series. So as you can probably tell, even though we are sitting down for the entire class, you can still get a pretty good workout and hopefully a bit of a sweat on. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.